How's it going, guys? We're back again. We might be doing news a little bit more consolidated. I mean, for one, we're trying to make sure that Tom actually survives editing all this crap. And for two, there's some stuff that just doesn't warrant a full video, but does warrant doing a little bit of a news section. Speaking of, we've got the new regional qualifier map announced, and it looks pretty good. What do you think?
It looks pretty cool, pretty edgy. It's definitely me. And then the minute I look at it after a stressful day, I'm going to end up resenting it. So,
well, I like the way it pops. I would like it in our backdrop, so make it happen, Moz.
Ouch. More responsibility.
Yep. And we've got the new Junk Warrior alt art, which is going to be way more nostalgic for you than me.
Yeah, I used to watch 5Ds because I'm younger. By a long time.
Keep rubbing it in. I'm a DM era kid. I get it.
Yeah. I had cool cards to look at.
Yeah, it was pretty ropey in the early days. So yeah, got some reprints as well. Desynchro will be cool. FTK shenanigans probably. Satellite synchron, that's overdue, isn't it? And I don't know what this does.
Neither do I.
Cool. Moving on. So yeah, final pose. And oh, wrong button. Right button. So we've got the new OTS tournament pack 22 announced. Brand Few is going to get an ulti, and they are generously giving us some branded reprints. I don't think there's more.
I guess it could mean a branded in white reprint to super because it's a common. Branded Fusion being an ulti, I guess, you know, it pairs well with Fusion Destiny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good engine card.
Pretty cool. But never find the buttons. Okay, this is interesting. Fusion Reinforcement. I think that this is going to be quite spicy. I don't know how yet. I haven't worked it out. Everyone is just going, you can hard make Exterio. Well, this guy's just the king of cheating out Exterio, and that's where you
I don't understand how you can hard make Exterio. Oh, yeah, because, extra deck. Yeah, you just literally reveal Exterio, summon that beast, but it's effects negated.
Like Hex-sealed Fusion?
Maybe. It's a long way. You could do it with Hex Sealed anyway.
Yeah, it looks to me just like I get to have any level I want.
I looked at this and thought Dragon Link support first.
Yeah. So I'm thinking like you just get any level you want for XEs or synchro plays or like.
Definitely a cool card.
It is. It's cool. I think it'll have application.
There'll be a tuner somewhere where you can just make Baron or something.
Maybe. Because that's what we need. Easier Baron. Anyway. Corrupted Gem of Rebellion Snake Eye. And this was the Easter reveal, apparently. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one face-up monster on the field. Place it in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell.
Weird.
Really weird.
Weird tech card.
That is not, like, a good out to things.
If it didn't target, it would be real good.
But you still place it. If it forced the owner to do it, then yeah. But by and large, like, I don't get it. Crystal Beast?
Not even that.
Probably not.
You'd probably be picking off problematic cards like a Rise Heart, for example, and just put them in the continuous slot so they no longer.
It's not even a quick play.
Well, it's not. It's a go second card. Or a card that might abuse this. We don't know if we're going to get an archetype that will pair with this.
I suppose.
I mean, we did get not Senate Switch, what's it? Something column switch with Met Knights. Pointless card, but it works with the strategy. We don't know.
Yeah, it's something. No idea. So there's a bunch of unprinted synchros from 5Ds. We are probably. I think we've got all the announcements for them now, and we've got them in here.
Still missing Clockwork Knights. Yeah, sad.
But like either way, we've got Combat Wheel. It's one tuner, one non-tuner. The first time this card would be destroyed by an opponent's card effects each turn, it's not destroyed. There's so many ways to get around that. Once per opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can discard one card. This card gains attack equal to half of the total attack of all face-up monsters you currently control. Then place one counter on this card. Also, your opponents cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. If this card with a counter on it is destroyed by battle, destroy all monsters you control.
It seems a little
Out of date.
Yeah, double-edged sword.
And we're getting Legendary Duelist Soul Burning Volcano. So 56 cards in the set. This is promo stuff, so we'll just skim it, but I think this is a lot of volcanic support. Salomon Great is back with new inspired Soul Burner from Reigns. Salomon Great is one of the most popular tournament level strategies of the last decade, able to dish out 8k damage in a flash. I mean, yeah.
It really was.
But its unique reincarnation gameplay makes your monsters gain new power if they use same name. Yeah, we know all this. Axel Brody was the featured character in the Speed Duel GX Duel Academy box, and now his volcanic strategy is getting another turn in the spotlight, so we're getting new volcanic stuff. Yeah, the bell hasn't rung yet, so get back in the ring with battling boxers. We already covered this. I need to make sure that that comes out before this anyway, because of the way the news went. So we're getting battling boxer, Salomon Great, and
Volcanic support, which I am actually terrified about.
Yeah, I'd say the Salomon Great. It depends which way they go with it. If they go ritualish, then I can't see it going well. If they
revisit the ritual idea, it'll be interesting. Very legendary duelist of them.
Yeah, but if they give it actual good support, that'd be really nice too. Dinos, this is you.
All right, so let's have a look. We have a new level 4 with 1400 attack. So if your opponent controls 2 or more non-win face-up monsters, those monsters cannot target this card for attacks. Pointless. During your main phase, you can add 1 polymerization from your deck to your hand. Weird. If this card is banished, you can special summon it. Then you can add a poly from your graveyard to your hand. So we have a new copy of Giant Rex that can attack directly, but in response to that, it also has 1400 attack instead of 2k. It's not a free level 4, and it is encouraging Dino players or whatever strategy you'd use this in to fusion summon. So there is a monster to go with this. So let's take a look at that. Right, level 6. It requires the thing that searches the poly to summon this thing, and another dino or dragon. So it's pretty suggestive that you play this in dinosaurs. So if this card is fusion summoned, you can place a Lost World straight from your deck or your graveyard face up in your field zone. Right?
Okay.
This would be a broken effect if it also summoned a card on summon in order to trigger the Lost World. It's just placed. That is the problem. You've just done all your summoning and you've just activated Lost World without triggering it. Can attack directly the turn it is special summoned. I don't think that applies to first turn, so you know, battle phase isn't. Do you know what? It's only got 2k as well, so
yeah, it's you don't need help.
You know what I do love about this card? It being a level 6. If this becomes a little easier with Scrap Raptor, that is a free Baron.
Yeah,
so makes 10s a little
also,
easier.
The Transcendrake 6 and Solder.
Yeah, but they search 6s from the deck, don't they?
Yeah, no, I just mean there's 6 targets.
And then during the main phase, immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a dino or dragon. So I guess you can trigger Lost World if you got the setup. Otherwise, you're doing nothing.
I suppose the idea is you do this, hold your Raptor.
Yeah, but you've got to fuse with a dinosaur as well.
It's not easy. It's asking a lot.
It is asking a lot.
And we've finally got Colorless Chaos King of the Dark World. You said that he was going to summon it. Never did.
He never did. We never knew what his ultimate monster was going to be, and it is here.
And wow, the build up to it, and it must be good because you need Rainbow and not the new good one. You need the old one. Plus 2 fiends, so it's high investment as well. If this card is fusion summoned, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Okay, that's pretty good if it's kind of like a towers and a board wipe, or like a, you know, bit of protection behind that board wipe. Go for a nice big OTK. A lot of investment, so it better protect itself. This card's original attack and defense become the number of fusion materials used for its summon times 1,000. You know what? I guess if you've got an awful lot of bodies, and which Dark World can, it can get pretty big. And you can ascension it out.
It's mostly the ascension, banishing all the materials from grave, like Miracle Fusion.
Yeah.
So going second, if you're willing to play an old copy of Rainbow, you've got a sort of OTK.
Cyber Dragon.
Yeah.
And then once per turn, quick effect, you can target one face-up card you control, discard one card, and if you do, your opponent cannot, oh, is it going to be good, target the targeted face-up card with card effects this turn. So, like, it specifically stops it getting impermed, I guess.
To be honest, if this was the card he would have been summoning, then that would have been great at the time.
At the time.
So I reckon that's what they've done here.
This would have been real pushed at the time. Not anymore. I think the comments we saw, like, got to admit, I think this one is a little boring for something so dramatically, but I'm glad they bothered to print it eventually.
Yeah. He mentioned Ascension, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, and feels kind of appropriately underwhelming, like it could legit be in GX. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
So, yeah, that's where we're at with the Colourless King. If you're going to Ascension, maybe just get the really good Negate. And we are getting the structure deck, Pulse of the King, which is, I believe, your waifu, Jack Atlas.
Wow.
The King and Devil now merge here. Rugged soul. Give the roar that created heaven and earth. These taglines are hilarious. So we've got Scar Red Dragon Archfiend. 3k25, that's the regular stat line, isn't it? You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card is always Red Dragon Archfiend while face up on the field or in the graveyard. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you can special summon one Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck. That's not bad for extension reasons. This card is treated as a synchro summon. Then, if this card was sent to the graveyard as synchro material for a Dark Dragon synchro monster, you can destroy all attack position monsters.
All opponents.
Opponents, that's important.
It's a little slow, but it is. It's
not
cool.
Bad for extended, I guess.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, it looks.
Honestly, they need a card that is going to turbo this out. That is what they need.
It's not fantastic when you compare it to the Excel Synchro retrain, the Stardust retrain.
Yeah, they were always going to get another.
Yeah, and we got Soul Resonator, usual Resonator stuff. You can only use the first and second effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one level 4 or lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand, except this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, apart from Dark Synchro monsters.
So they were going to get Dark World support until they locked you into synchros.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of those synchros, though, I guess. If a card or card you control would be destroyed by a card effect while you control a Red Dragon Archfiend or a Synchro monster that mentions it, you can banish it from your graveyard instead. Everyone finds those really underwhelming.
You know what?
But, like, branded opening can be very close.
This would be interesting with Infernity, because it can search all the Infernity cards, and they can literally make Void Ogre Dragon and Hot Reds, because Void Ogre requires no cards in hand, Infernity don't want cards in hand. It might go well with the Infernity strategy.
That sounds interesting. We've got Bone Archfiend. Can only use the first and second effect each turn. This card in your hand or graveyard, you can send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck rest of the turn, apart from Dark Dragon Synchro monsters.
Seeing a theme.
Well, that's even more locked in. You can target one face-up monster you control, then one Fiend Tuner from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do increase or decrease this target's level by 1. Yeah, it's very, very locked in, but You can tell exactly what they're trying to do. It's the Resonator deck, and there's some reprints. Resonators, Vice Dragon, Battle Fader. That needed a reprint.
Oh yeah. You gotta get those copies of Battle Fader.
Red Dragon Archfiend and Red Nova Dragon. Okay, and then we've got the Cyberse support, which is Playmakers. I don't know, never watched it. So this is cool. Drastic draw. You can only activate one of this card's name per turn. You cannot normal summon or special summon monsters the turn you activate this card except Cyberse monsters. Banish all monsters you control, a minimum of 2, draw 3 cards. That's going to see play somewhere.
Somewhere, but it's a lot to ask. Especially when you've got monsters established. If you've already normaled.
I kind of feel like it would be the the Code Talker strategy that just vomits elements.
Like if it's going to be that, that's fair enough. But I don't see it being played in some of the favourable strategies like Salamangreat or Mathmet. What are you going to do with draws when you've already established 2 monsters?
Draw into hand traps.
Yeah, but would you rather have the Heat Soul to do that for you? Plus,
well, no, I guess. Yeah.
Plus, you got to banish them all.
Right,
So
this is asking a lot, but you can make your Aliburtion, search for your diameter, use an extender if you're playing a little more heavy extension, banish those 2 cards, draw 3, normal summon your diameter, carry on as normal, make Heat Soul, so you go through like a draw 5.
yeah, but then the card needs self as well.
Yeah,
It can just be a brick.
Yeah, it's not.
It's an interesting card.
It's also not named in any kind of way where you can just be like, I'm gonna search it with microcoder because it's transaction rollback. Normal trap. You can only use the first and second. You can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. Pay half your life points, then target 1 normal trap in your opponent's graveyard, except this. This card's effect becomes that card's effect.
You know what?
When that card is activated.
This is an interesting card.
That's really funky.
It is an interesting tech card, especially against control strategies. Because if you side deck this card and you know they're playing a card like, like, I guess you'd have to resolve it as well.
Yeah.
It'd have to be a beneficial trap to you, so like Dogmatic Punishment. That wouldn't lock you in either. You'd just copy the destruction effect rather than the restriction effect. Ice Dragon's Prison. So I guess as a tech card against control decks, you could probably use this if they come back into format.
Yeah, that's...
Then you can banish this card from your graveyard and pay half your life points. Target a normal trap in your graveyard, except this card. This effect becomes that trap effect. So for actual control strategies, that is pretty cool. That is a almost staple.
I don't think this is going to see play in Cyberse decks.
No, but this is going to see play in Labyrinth decks or Altergeist or something.
And then Code Hack. Again, none of them appropriately named. Continuous Trap. Cyberse Link monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects.
Whatever.
Once per turn during the battle step, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, you can change that opponent's monster's stat to 0 until the end of the turn. And if you do, neither monster can be destroyed by battle. That's kind of alright.
Also, neither player takes damage from that battle.
That's kind of garbage. What are you doing?
Yeah, so it's not even cool.
So you can't even like make something 0 double attack access.
Yeah. I guess it's buying you a turn.
Wait, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, you can change that opponent's monster's attack to 0.
So it's non-targeting. There's nothing you can actually say or do to this card. Except unaffected monsters.
So it's defensive.
Yeah. So when your opponent activates a card or effect during the damage step, While your Code Talker monster attacks, you can banish this card from your graveyard and negate the activation if you do the attack. That is actual garbage.
That's terrible. That's pack filler.
Yeah. However, the second card is a must-buy if you're planning on playing any heavy trap-based control strategy. Even Trap Tricks will abuse this card, using holes from the grave and from the deck as well.
And life points are a resource. Your last one's the one that matters.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're getting... How do you pronounce this person's name?
Unagi's.
That person's cards. This is like Crystal Skull, isn't it?
Yeah, it was part of the prison bit in the 5Ds. It was basically a strategy that burnt their opponent to death unless they had setup, in which case they would reverse the damage onto their opponent. Fun fact, the only reason they were able to win with this deck is because they read their cards.
Moral of the story.
Read your cards and your opponents.
You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can add one equipped spell from your deck to your hand. Then if this card in attack position is changed to defense, change it to defense position. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, take 2k. Okay. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If this card is summoned, you can add one Triangle O from your deck to your hand. Then if this card is in attack position, change it to defense. If it's destroyed, take a K. Triangle O, you can only use the first... only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name per...
So Crystal Skull's already out because it came out in Crystal Beast.
If you control Crystal Skull, Ashoka Pillar, and Cabrera Stone, destroy all cards on the field. Also, this turn, your opponent takes any effect damage you would.
Take it instead. However, that adds up to a perfect 4K, which is the anime OTK, not the actual life OTK.
Well, what's Crystal Skull? Is that burn for 2k?
That's a K. So take a K, and then take 2K.
Okay.
So it's the anime OTK.
Okay.
You can banish this card from your graveyard, tag it on Crystal Skull, Ashoka Pillar, and Cabrera Stone in your graveyard. Shuffle them into the deck, draw 3 cards.
Okay.
It is a terrible strategy.
Totem Pole. Your opponent cannot target rock monsters you control with 0 original attack with card effects. Okay.
Whatever.
Once per battle, when your opponent monster declares an attack, you can negate the attack and then place 1 counter on this card. If this card has 3 counters, send it to the graveyard.
You have 3 or more.
Because that needed balancing.
Yeah. If you have 3 or more monsters with 0 attack at different ends in your graveyard, banish this card from your graveyard. Any effect damage your opponent takes this turn is doubled.
Okay, there it is. There's the actual OT.
Yeah.
With how much setup?
A lot.
Okay. On to better news, the tins. The tins are announced.
There is going to be a lot of randomness going on here, especially if they're merging all of the nostalgia into one, which is it's going to be... I'm gonna address this lightly. It's going to possibly cause a bit of spread in terms of the packs.
Or it could be a home run, because home run products are something for casual players, something for collectors, and something for competitive. We definitely know 25th, quarter century rares, I think there are. So the following cards can be confirmed as one of the variant quarter century rares included in each tin. Dark Magician, that's probably a banger. Exodia the Forbidden one, that'll be the head.
Yeah.
Red Eyes, Rainbow Dragon, Cyber Dragon, Neos. I know for a fact you're probably going to want 3/4 century rare Neos because they're not expensive.
Maybe
Salaman Great Blaze Dragon, whatever, and Firewall Dragon it's whatever now.
So at least like we're getting a new special rarity.
Oh wait, no, Neos is not Stratos.
Yeah.
Me.
If Stratos was the card, then yeah, I'd want 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice new rarity. We're just gonna have to see how this plans out. It could be a home run, or it could be very awkward if they're trying to print a lot of cards that are nostalgic from each of these eras, plus the staples that we're looking to get out of the current sets. So it either means there's going to be a high frequency of this need to be bought if you want to find specific stuff, or it's like you might have to just trade your way up using cards you pull out of these. But hopefully, again, usually the tins are pretty good. So
yeah, they were on a bit of a decline, but would you? And it's nice that we've got promos again.
yeah, promos.
Volcanic.
I am terrified of this new strategy because of Accelerator.
Blaze Accelerator.
It's the Raigeki when it's destroyed, and it sends any card, volcanic card, from your deck to the grave, and that is actually terrifying.
Which is usually Shell?
Yeah, it is awful.
Okay, so first one we've got Volcanic Emperor, level 8, Fire Pyro, special summoned effect monster. Okay, 3124, so a big boy.
Very badass artwork, as usual, with the big volcanic dragons, though.
Yeah. Cannot be normal summoned a set, must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by banishing 3 Pyro monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card.
Oh, no.
From your face up on your field and or graveyard.
That also triggers.
You can only special summon Volcanic Emperor once per turn. That's funky. When summoned this way, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each of your Pyro monsters currently banished. Then you can set 1 Volcanic Trap.
So, Recycle Blaze.
Directly from your deck. Except Volcanic Eruption.
Each time your opponent's best summons a monster, inflict 500 damage to them. So, pseudo Red Eyes Flare as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Legal targets for this card are Volcanic Inferno, Volcanic Recharge. Volcanic Eruption is not a Volcanic Trap card in the OCG, where this all matters, and
Will need its name changed. Okay. Volcanic Trooper. So, you can only use the first and second once per turn. If this card is normal special summoned, you can add 1 volcanic card from your deck to your hand. Cool, rotors, as if this card needed it. You can discard 1 card, special summon 1 bomb token to your opponent's field. When this token is destroyed, its controller takes 500. I don't actually see this card like doing much with the token effect, but I guess the added effect damage along with the full rotors as a normal, it's going to be silly.
Give a token to a cash player, they love it.
Oh yeah.
Volcanic Rimfire. Well, that's what you get after a bad curry. Level 1 Pyro effect monster. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects, banish this card from your graveyard, and if you do, send 1 volcanic monster from your deck to the graveyard except Rimfire. Banish 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field or graveyard, and if you do, place a Blaze Accelerator continuous spell trap from your hand or deck.
Might be a one-of.
In the spell trap zone, you can only use each once per turn. Volcanic Blaze Cannon.
Now, this was a card that I think was used, but was never actually printed. Or I might be mistaken, but I think it was. Activating this card by sending 1 Blaze Accelerator from your hand, deck, or face up to the grave. That's already devastating. You can only use 1 Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. Once per turn, you can special summon 1 Volcanic monster from your hand, as if they needed more. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, send 1 level 1 Pyro monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, destroy the target. I actually love and hate this card.
And it's a Blaze Accelerator card.
I think you'd only need to play like 1 or 2 anyway. Again, you don't want to be clogging too much with this. The strategy's looking as if it's going to get enough support to be consistent.
Fire rejection, that's what happens when you've got a UTI. So it's a normal spell trap.
Really? We went there.
We went there. Oh. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Send 1 Pyro monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then if it's a Volcanic monster, you can apply one of these effects. Inflict damage to your opponent equal to its level times 100. Doesn't sound great, but you want that in grave.
Yep.
So there's Burn for 8, feel great. Special summon 1 bomb token to your opponent's field. If the token's destroyed, inflict 500. And then we have got Volcanic Inferno.
Alright, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, you can banish 1 Pyro monster from your graveyard and inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Then if you banished a Volcanic monster, you can negate that effect. Cool. During your opponent's end phase, you can target 2 of your Volcanic monsters that are banished or in your graveyard. place them on the bottom of the deck in any order. So casual recycling, a continuous trap that continues to negate for them. Interesting. So honestly, I am going to say this right now. This deck is probably looking at the rogue, like nearing that rogue strategy, because Blaze Accelerator as a card in general, pretty devastating.
That's kind of sick that it's getting that.
I think it's going to be an okay deck.
So we're getting reprints of Shell, Scattershot for all of you degenerates. Rocket, Blaze Accelerator.
That's the card. Blaze Accelerator. And
Is it not Reload as well?
Yeah, but it's a Blaze Accelerator card anyway.
Yeah.
So Reload's a really good card.
Yeah. So, all right. We're getting a deck getting some actual love here. And then we've got free agents from Duelist Nexus. I don't know.
Right.
Walking Behemoth. This looks like...
It looks like the sickest monster ever made.
There was a card a long time
Yeah, it's a prize card. It looks like a prize card. I swear it is.
Behemoth. It was a pink beast monster.
I know what you're on about.
It was not a prize card. I'm sure I had one as a kid. Is it Behemoth, the king of all animals?
Yeah.
It is. That wasn't a prize card, so Behemoth, king of all animals.
I thought it was.
Yeah, so that's got a retrain.
It's huge now.
Yeah, back in day...
Same stats, though.
Yeah, same stat line. The effect of this one was you can normal summon or set this card with 1 tribute, but its original attack becomes 2,000. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target beast monsters in your graveyard equal to the number of monsters tributed, return them to the hand. So you can tell that's kind of old.
Alright, new one.
New one.
It's normal summon and special summons. Alright, so not even... oh, sorry. You can normal summon set this card with 1 tribute. Stay.
So it's kept that.
If this card is normal summon and special summon, you can target 1 beast warrior, or winged beast monster in your graveyard. You can add it to your hand, and if you do, this card loses 700. They get in Flundery support. Cool.
More Tri-Brigade.
I know, but still. This card, this normal summon set card is unaffected by activated effects from special summon monsters. Once per turn during your end phase, you can make this card gain 700 attack. It seems...
That is very well tuned to what it was.
Silly. It's cool. Definitely does a little bit more. I
like how in theme that is.
Yeah,
sort of what it was.
It's definitely similar.
Okay, so Magnum the Reliever. It's a level 8 Light Fiend Fusion Effect monster, 28 and 2k. Materials: 1 monster special summoned from the extra deck and 1 monster in the hand. You can't super poly.
Nope.
You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. You can target 1 polymerization spell or fusion spell in your graveyard, place it on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. That's pretty cool. When another card effect is activated, quick effect, you can banish a poly or fusion spell, target 1 card on the field, destroy it.
It's cool.
Kind of niche.
Yeah.
It's an 8. 8 stat lines are good. We've got Gaia Blaze, the Force of Blazing Sun. What a name.
Retsujitsu no Kisho Gaia Blaze.
Oh, yeah. Level 7 Fire Pyro Synchro Effect monster, 2600 2-1, so that's just the Gaia stat line, I think. 1 tuner, 1 non-tuner.
Chona.
1 non-chona. When this attacking card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate this effect. This card can make a second attack in a row. Wow, we're printing BLS in 2023.
Without the banish.
Without the banish.
Somehow worse.
At the end of the battle phase, you can target fire monsters in your graveyard up to the number of monsters this card destroyed by battle this turn. Add them to your hand. This is legitimately harder to summon and has a worse effect than Envoy of the Beginning. Come on. Bellamatecratis. Whatever.
2 level 8 monsters. Generic.
I'm
cool.
getting it.
Each time your opponent activates a trap card or effect or monster effect, place 1 spell counter on this card. It resolves a maximum of 9 times. You can remove 3 spell counters from this card. Apply one of these effects. Add, so it's not a quick effect. Add a spell or 1 spell cast for effect monster from your deck to your hand. So any spell. Alright. Special summon 1 spellcaster monster from your hand or deck. Pretty good. If this card would be destroyed, you can attach material from it instead. It is an interesting card.
I'm playing it in Gren.
I don't see why.
I don't see why not. It's an 8. Right, we've got Hypermorph or Egomorph. Or Hypermorph, Egomorph. Quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. At the start of the damage step, I've already lost interest. If your monster battles an opponent's monster, activate one of these effects. Change the attacking monster to defense position. Return the attacking monster to the hand. Destroy both.
Well, it's another ego card because you had ego boost, which gives another card a K in the damage step.
Okay. And then we've got Opposing Mirrors of the Underworld, which is a cool name and it's got cool art.
Alright, you can activate 1 card with this card's name once per turn. You can take damage from an opponent's attack or card effect. Apply this effect. Oh, when you take, sorry. Battle. Special summon a monster in your grave with attack equal to or lower than the damage you took. And if you do, end the battle phase. Effect damage. Inflict twice that much to your opponent. So it's a funny magic cylinder.
We have Battle Fader and Magic Cylinder in 1 card, and it's worse than both somehow.
Alright, that's pretty mean.
Hey, Magic Cylinder's got support.
I mean, it's twice the amount, not exactly that amount.
And then we're back to the start. So, that's been the news. Hopefully it hasn't been too long. Thanks for anyone who made it to the end. And if you did, I think you should like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell icon, join the Discord, do all the good stuff. It really helps us out. And let us know if you prefer this format. I've been me, he's been Moz. Namaste, fuckers. We'll see you next time.
In a bit.
I also should full screen for outros, so we'll do it now. We're professionals. Bye, everybody.